Good morning. Hello, everyone. Alan here. And I have been in a little tarot tube rabbit hole today, a good one, all about RWS, my favorite deck. And first off, I make it real simple for me. Hopefully I'll provide some useful information here in this video. If I do, I hope you like it and comment. And I like to provide a discussion, some dialogue. But to me, it's real simple. You have traditional deck, and that's the rider-waite-smith, and then non-traditional is Toth and everything else. Now, where does that leave Marseille? Marseille is kind of a separate entity. It came before rider-waite-smith. So when I think of traditional, non-traditional, rider-waite-smith. Now then we come into these other categories of like original and Brian. I'm putting links to Brian's, the original Ragged Poet, who I haven't talked to before, but I subscribed. Then Simon's and Kelly Bears. Kelly Bears was the first one I saw. Then Simon's and Brian. So Brian differentiates between the original, like Rider-Waite-Smith, and then clones. And then there's some even borderlines. And briefly, let me just tell you what I mean. Now, Rider-Waite-Smith originals, you have that's like the universal Rider-Waite-Smith, and that's kind of borderline too, because I don't have the deck handy, but just for memory, the Devil card 15, the Devil is different. It's the same concept, but it is different. And there's other cards that are different too. But it still kind of falls into the original and not clone. So we'll put it in the original. And then that's like the Radiant, the Albano, the new one Simon just reviewed, Weight on Acid, which looks really interesting. It's an interesting concept. One of the questions is about, we'll get to it. I'm excited about this tag. Then the Golden Universal are all originals. Now clones would be like Hanson Roberts, Robin Wood, Morgan Greer, Gilded Tarot. Now what about the Golden Dawn Tarot by Robert Wang? Now Pixie got her information through, Wade and the Golden Dawn, but then she took it and did things that, he wasn't even aware of. And then, so Wang took the same concepts and took it that way. So that would be a clone. And what would be non-traditional would be the Cicero's Ritual, or they change it to the Magical Golden Dawn Tarot, would be totally non-traditional. I'm trying not to confuse it. So here's my nice little tarot tin I made. But in here I'm keeping currently a clone the Hanson Roberts. Now these are totally different. You can say, the concept is the same, right? That's an example of the moon, but they're totally different. So this is a clone deck. Here is a Devil. Concept is the same, but totally different image. And just one more example of a pip, or not a pip, but a minor. Three of Pentacles. See, there's no other two figures, huh? So, but I'll get to that. I don't have a Toth deck. I do have examples of, here's another tarot tin I made. I'm giving this away to someone. I'll make a video on it. But I used the Golden Tarot, that's the Empress. The Golden Universal Tarot, here's the box. Somehow I have the box. And I have this deck and I liked it. I go through decks. I give them away. The students, I trade them, this and that. So, okay. And then another, so the clones would take off from there to like the Gummy Bear Tarot, Vampire Tarot, Halloween Tarot, on and on and on. So let's get to the questions. There's 11 questions here. My favorite clone would probably be, I love the greens in the Albano deck. The greens are even more greener than the Brilliant deck. But I didn't even mention all the Brilliant deck and Albano and all that under original. I like, the BOTA, Builders of the Adium deck, I did mention right up there. Now, no one really reads with that deck. It's not meant to be read, but it's a full deck, 78 cards, not just the majors. And, you go through the lessons and that, you color them in. So Albano, Robin Wood, I learned a lot from that. The Devil card is really interesting. I'm going to try to find it, and I'll put it up here somewhere. It's like the monkey trap, where a monkey, this is her Devil card. Monkey has its arm in a box, and it grabs onto fruit like a banana, and it can't get out of the box, and that's how the villagers club the monkey and eat its brain. Like we're just like the monkey. We grab onto attachments, and if we would only let go of the attachment, we would free ourselves. So it's a good concept. Her Hierophant is different, and I'll never forget it because now I use it in my reading of the Hierophant. He's wearing a mask, and so it's kind of like Two-Face, just like say some religions are. I'm not going to say it, but let's see. But my favorite clone is undoubtedly, I've had my, it's a smaller deck, the Hanson Roberts. I've had this over 10 years. It's it's getting like thin, faded. It's all kind of chunked up, but I like it because of the Renaissance figures and the way they're dressed and everything. I like that period of time. Deviant Moon, they've been mentioning it. That would be non-traditional for me. That would fall under the top. And that. Now I know Simon and I don't know if Brian did. Pretty sure the poet did put it under rider-waite-smith. You can argue that. I'm arguing against it. I'm looking forward to his Oracle deck coming out. I saw a video on that. 2, my Life Path card. You add up your birthday. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about that. Mine comes to the Empress. And yes, the Empress, I find spirituality in nature. I find that right now, I'm pregnant with ideas, creativity. And I have to put my nose to the grindstone and start, creativity is 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. Skip to question 3. My favorite major and minor cards. My favorite could be the Magician. I always like that. I like the Ouroboros of his belt. And I was getting into the Ouroboros with his belt, then the Luminesque above his head, as well as in the Strength card, and how there's other cards with the infinity sign, the figure 8, that obviously Magician's Strength, and the 2. How about the 4 Pentacles? See the, infinity, right? How about on the Page of Swords, the birds above her head? Can you see it? That's an infinity sign. She's a card of creativity to me. Minors, I love the Wish card And that's because he looks like he's making a wish with the arms crossed like he's a genie. He's about ready to wink. I like his red turban, his red socks. And I like getting wishes. Also like the Seven of Wands, Petruchio and Taming of the Shrew. He's got two different boots on because he's in a hurry. I won't get into the Shakespeare play, but that's where it's from. And Pixie was a theater scene painter and that. Question 4. Do you prefer the rider-waite-smith system over others? And I do. I know others. I know Toth. I know Marseille. This is another example of, this is a great deck I'm very much into. Totally non-traditional. Tarot of the Spirit. So it's, totally different system, but I like this system too. But rider-waite-smith, Golden Dawn Correspondences, Kabbalah, Tree of Life. I love Pixies endlessly giving artwork. I'm very theatrical. I have a degree in theater from Kent State University in Ohio. 5. What card is stalking you lately? And I'm going to get a little personal here. The Four of Cups has been popping out, and it's amazing because I'm trying to quit smoking marijuana. And it's hard in Portland. It's legal here. And you walk out the door, people knock on my door. It comes out of the air. But sometimes so does shiny things. So it's a matter of my concentration and what else? Two kinds of will. There's willpower and free will. And that's what I'm dealing with the Four of Cups. I have the question. What's the question? I have the answers. I have 15, the Devil, and the Two of Pentacles. So, Two of Pentacles is my mechanical card for my birthday. I like it. Pixie has, I call them their staged cards, these lines with the backdrops. So if you ever notice somewhere like backdrops, those ships are two-dimensional. They're definitely not real. Where other cards are real. Like he's standing there on land. That's real. He's standing off. What is real, what is not real. He's in the grass. But you know what I mean? The Devil card I don't have handy. And I want to keep this moving along. 7. Your first and last rider-waite-smith. I have a birthday coming up in 3 weeks, and it's a monumental birthday. I see some changes coming up in my life, and I'm embracing the changes. I'm looking forward to them, simplifying my life, depth here and that. So I started reading tarot when I was probably at least 16. Ed Gray's book I typed up back when they have typewriters, cut and paste, and cut the paper and glue it. So that's just the fondness and respect I have for this deck because I've been reading and studying it for 40 years on and off. And I'm still learning new things about it. It's opening up new just ideas, ways of thinking, and knowledge, learning things. I just like learning new things. And my last one is the borderless, which I really like. Or I've never trimmed my own decks or anything. I find it very interesting when people do it. I like tarot crafts. How many decks do I have, rider-waite-smith? I've had a bunch of them. Right now, I'm not a big collector of tarot. I'm satisfied with the traditional and non-traditional deck. A few others, like I love the Osho Zen deck. very non-traditional. I'm getting the Rumi Oracle. So, and I've had like the Fairy Oracle before. Enjoyed that years ago. So to answer your question, I have two. I have a mini one too. Of course, I like. Here's my mini rider-waite-smith, and that's missing half the cards too. I can't wait to get some more recipe tins from Goodwill so I can start making more tarot tins with these. 9. Are you by the book or an intuitive reader? Now here I get a little, Robert Frost, the poet, Robert Frost, he has an aphorism that says, writing free verse is like playing tennis without a net. Writing free verse poetry, meaning free verse is easy compared to like a villanelle or a sonnet or a sestina or a form poem. And that's how I feel about book versus intuition. If somebody wants to tell me it's totally intuitive and don't go by the book, that doesn't really impress me. I'm very intuitive. I'm psychic. I prophetic dreams, very intuitive, very empathic, very but I'm also very traditional. There's something to be said for book knowledge and experience. And if you don't know the rules, how can you break them? Remain open-minded. My favorite aphorism is mind like parachute, only work when open. Stay green. But, don't, and one is not better than the other, necessarily. Not going to go there. How do you feel about the proliferation of the rider-waite-smith style decks? Good or bad? Are there too many? Never. No. I think it's great. I think I caught on the wave in the 1970s. Stuart Kaplan republished the rider-waite, and that's when it took off. Before you could only get like a Marseille primarily decks. So I started reading around the late 70s. I was a stage magician too. That's how I got into tarot and magic. But so the more the merrier. And like I mentioned, Simon has a review on a deck called Weight on Acid. So it's all psychedelic, and I'd like to give that deck. Okay, now the last one. Draw a card from my favorite rider-waite-smith deck, and what am I supposed to do with it? I have this down, I know it. Yeah, for all my moving around, I stayed like 25 years or so in Phoenix. In 2008, I started moving. Got into a relationship and moved to California. Spent 3 years there, San Diego or so. Moved to Phoenix, moved to Portland for a few years. Moved to Toledo, Ohio recently for 3.5 years. And then moved back to Portland now. So I'm sticking roots now. And then between that time, I've lost a lot of books, a lot of tarot decks. But I've kept the Hanson Roberts. So it's been a standby. So I'm going to draw a card and tell you something, I guess, where I am in my life. So shuffle. Okay, just draw. Boop, boop, boop. What do we got? 5 of Pentacles, reversed. We can see the stained glass is nice, but, a bandaged head. The guy has a bandage. He's on a crutch on Pixie's card, too. But this was reversed. Where I'm at now, I'm in a position to give back. I could do more service work in my community, not just giving money, but where I'm not in a position to do that. But I could give more service work. I'm committed to go to one of our Old Town Chinatown committee group meetings every month. I haven't been yet, so I'm not that committed, am I? I say I am, but I don't do. I have to check that out. So that's off the top of my head. To yours. off the top of my head to your head, I hope you comment and I hope you do the tag so I can watch it. Peace.